No moon?
Yeah. It was halfway there, and then it took a U-turn.
I forgot my keys.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Left my phone at
bailed.
home. Actually, yeah, it was Elon and Saturday Night Live really tanked Bitcoin.
Oh, that sucks.
Did they really? I'm surprised that he did that because he's such a big guy involved with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
No, he said it wasn't. It wasn't energy
Environmentally
friendly the way they mine it.
The carbon.
All
Uses
blah,
so
blah,
much
blah.
computer processing power.
But he did shout out Dogecoin, I think.
Yeah, that's what he wants to win.
Yeah.
Wait, I laughed too
Me
because he
too.
said something in his last interview and somebody yelled something from the crowd. And he goes, I don't know, I think it's 420.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of chuckled through the crowd because when he smoked weed,
On Joe Rogan.
oh,
yeah.
everybody was like, oh, you know, your stock's going to drop now. I'm like,
How
his stock
dare
is going to
he
drop
be
maybe for the,
human.
yeah, exactly. Drop for the day. Come on, man. The whole
Yeah.
weed thing is ridiculous. So, but there's talk now that he is, you know, an extraterrestrial guy and it's.
No, but he's not. Whenever people ask him about extraterrestrials or UFOs or aliens or whatever, he thinks it's bogus. He like brushes it off. He's like, I don't even think about that.
Oh, because I don't want to be looking at my genes.
Yeah. yeah.
Tell you whatever. I want you to get away from me, dude. So
Right,
I'm nothing
right.
of the kind. I don't even believe in that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
So
It's funny that a guy like him doesn't believe in it. He's like if you can't find a picture or a video that looks like it's at least shot on a modern day iPhone, he's like, you can stop wasting my time with it.
yeah, I think that's just part of the propaganda.
Yeah, that's kind of suspect that he's like flying around in space, not like personally, but he's got all this space.
He's
work
got a
going
car
on,
in space
and
waiting for him.
and he doesn't believe in aliens. I'm not buying it.
Oh, there's got to be more to it. I mean, there just can't be just us. When you
Yeah.
start looking at the bigger picture and what's really going on.
Yeah.
You know, of course, we talked about this before. I've never had a nightmare. I don't have nightmares now. I couldn't even tell you what a nightmare is. But when I was like 11, I had something come in my room one night, and it was more than one. They were short, they were small, and it wasn't this big head stuff. These kind of looked like, this sounds funny, it sounded like a log. And they had real long, flat heads. And I don't know, there was probably 6 of them maybe that came in my room. I tried to scream for my mom. Why my mom? I don't know. You think you would scream for your dad in that case, but I was going to yell for my mom. And I still remember it today, but I could not get it to come out. And it sounds ridiculous, but one of them put a raincoat on and was dancing around my bed in it. I mean, why would they do that? Doesn't sound scientific at all. I mean, was it really somebody in my room that night? I don't know, but it's the only time, and here I'm 60 years old. It's the only dream I ever had that I still think about today.
Yeah.
So, you know, was it an illusion? I could have told you I was wide awake. I don't remember what I did the next day. I don't even remember when I remembered this. I don't remember if I told my parents about it. But it was definitely one of those odd things that listen, and I've never had a nightmare. I don't have it today. I think about this often, but I couldn't tell you, hey, yeah, it was definitely an alien. It wasn't anything traditional that you see or you hear about. And I was 11, so I wasn't really predisposed to even know about that stuff then. And I wasn't really interested in it then.
Yeah, yeah.
It wasn't until I was 14, I became a Boy Scout, and we were kind of, doing the whole stargazing thing that you start asking questions. And then
That's crazy that you remembered that for so long.
yeah, I mean, here I am, I'm 60, and I was 11. I mean, come on. So, again, was it real? I don't know, but those are the type of events that start to form your reality to kind of make you think, okay, what's going on here? What is this really all about? The day that I saw that thing up along the radio tower, looking at that kind of what the hell is that? I mean, it's got to be something. I saw it. It wasn't.
So the guy that was abducted in the 70s, Travis Walton, the guy who was abducted and then reappeared. I mean, that is also extremely detailed. It's impossible to cut that, to discredit that story. It's,
especially
because of all the people that saw it.
Well, dude,
Was
the
that
guys
the
that were
guy
there.
on Rogan that you showed
Yeah,
me?
that's the guy I was showing you. Yeah. The interesting thing about him is he also has similar stories to like your story about in your bedroom. Like he has a story about after he had kids that he told that how he woke up out of a dead sleep one night running full speed to his kid's bedroom. Like I don't know how that happens. It's never happened to me. I've never woken up in the middle of the night running. But he says he's never sleptwalked before. And he was running to his kid's room and he woke up and he finds himself in his son's room, and his son is like, they have the bunk beds, and his kid was like halfway off the bunk bed with his neck stuck between the railing. So his kid was like a minute from being suffocated to death.
Wow.
And he said he like saved his kid's life. If it wouldn't have got there 5 minutes earlier, he would have been dead.
And see what makes that guy so credible.
And he has these stories like this. Like,
dude.
people
He's
like
credible.
him. His story's super credible about the abduction. But that story, obviously, you can't prove.
Well, listen,
but it's just interesting that he has those.
It wasn't even his story that I heard that made me go like, oh, wow. It was the guys who left him there When they saw that thing grab him and he's back arched, they said, "We're the fuck out of here, man." Yeah. And they left. So for me, because those guys were all ashamed of themselves when they first left him, they didn't even want to tell anybody they left him.
Yeah.
They were all ashamed that they had left him out there in the middle of this woods. So initially they thought, hey, maybe these guys murdered him. Mm-hmm. And I think he came. It was either 3 days or 6 days later is when he popped back up and everything. And then all of a sudden, like, hey, there he is. So to me, again, very credible. When you talked about Betty and Barney, again, dude, very credible. I remember hearing about them in the 70s. When they first came out with that whole thing. And it was out, I think they came out in the 60s really, but I remember hearing about it in the 70s. And of course, being a black and white couple like that, a mixed race couple, the last thing you want to do, and especially in the 70s, is come up with some crazy story to make you look like some crazy black guy. You know?
Right.
So he stuck to the story. And then, as time went on, they were actually bringing more, like he said, one of the odd things with him was that he didn't understand originally, because he's still trying to put everything together, was the top of his shoes, the toes, were all dragged through the shoe. It was all, they were gone. There was no leather there, right at the very tip of the shoes. And when they put him under to talk about the event,
hypnosis or whatever,
under hypnosis, he said that he floated up, and as he was going forward, he was dragging his toes along the ground to the ship. And he didn't remember that until he said it. And he said, "Oh my God," because he had a picture of the shoes. And he showed, here's the picture of the shoes.
Right.
They tried to take her dress off of her, but they didn't know what a zipper was. So they started tearing the dress and pulling on it. Didn't know whether it was a second skin on her or what it was.
Right.
And so when she got back, her dress had all these weird tear marks in it. And her dress is still around, and I think the shoes are still around also.
I remember the thing that stuck out to me the most about the Betty and Barney story was that she remembered asking one of the things that abducted her, she's like, who are you and where are you from, or where are we? And the being responded to her like telepathically and said, if you don't know where you are right now, it would be worthless for me to tell you where I'm from. Like,
Actually having a conversation.
Right.
They stuck a needle in her stomach.
Yeah.
And she said she got all freaked out when that happened because she's like, oh, what's this all about? And the guy said to her in his mind, hey, don't worry, it's not going to hurt. She goes, it still hurt. But he was talking to her mentally and said, hey, this isn't going to hurt. You'll be okay when it's all said and done. They took semen from Barney, and he didn't want to tell anybody that. Like, that's weird.
How did they take the semen?
I was about to say, how did they extract the semen?
Oh yeah, that was a hell of a visual.
Like a long finger to tickle the prostate? Or?
Do you like this?
Yeah.
How about that? Probably probably gave him a good shock.
Yeah.
They couldn't
Got
just
to
wave
come
a
out.
hand over it? And
Probably. Like I said, I'd hope to never find out personally. Like, don't touch my junk.
What would you do if you saw what Travis Walton saw? If you saw a saucer hovering 50 feet above the ground, what would you run to it and hope that it vacuums you up, or what would you do?
I definitely wouldn't run to it. I think I would eventually say to myself, aha, I was right. Mm-hmm. I think that's the first thing I would say. But I'm too aware of like radiation and how these things are flying, or when the one that they had in Britain, when the military.
But Travis, they cured him. That's why they pulled him up, because he ran in and he got hit all that radiation, right, which would have killed him.
Sure.
And his theory is they brought him up just so they could fix him and heal him, and then they dropped him back off.
I mean, listen, if they grab me, that's a whole other story. But if I have any say so on the matter, I'm gonna be standing as far away from you as I can
So
stand.
you're not going to try to get beamed up.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Beam me up.
You just want like a picture and proof, not like.
I just want them to wave at me
beam.
through the window. Hey, okay, we're good. So maybe if I could bring my gun with me, would be okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that would help you?
No, not really.
What if you get up there and then there's like one of those stickers that says like "No guns allowed"?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Damn it. I can see that.
No human guns.
I'm trying to see if there's some space weed up there.
Yeah, what's that about? Like some space drugs?
It's funny, man. I read a story. I wrote a book called Janissaries. I was in the Navy. And it was kind of bizarre, man. It's about a military group that go to Cuba to do this they're going to kill like the leader of Cuba. It's very classified. They get brought in and they get landed. What they don't realize was they were just set up and the U.S. was going to leave them there and let them get killed. And it was going to be this big, coup d'état that was trying to take place, and this is what happened. Mm-hmm. And so while these Americans they're fighting, I said, dude, I don't think anybody's coming for us. I can't get anybody on the radio. The ship lands. And they're all like, what the hell is that? He goes, I don't know, man. But the door opens up and a voice says, come on, let's go. And the guy's like, dude, I'm not going. Are you going to stay here? So there's this command argument going on. These guys are going to get wiped out by the Cubans. So they finally decide to get on this thing, and they all get on it. And they all jump into it, and it takes off. And they're all kind of talking to each other, looking around like, where the hell are we at?